Your mind is overloaded. You can't focus, you can't relax, you can't enjoy the present. You feel trapped in a whirlwind of thoughts that never stop. Worries pile up, stress overwhelms you, and the feeling of never having a moment of peace has become your normal state. The problem is that we were never taught how to cleanse our minds, how to get rid of the things that poison us from within. We worry about what we eat, about exercise, about work, about the image we present to the world. But when was the last time you did a deep cleanse of your mind? External noise is constant: social media, alarming news, endless comparisons, unnecessary information. But the internal noise is even worse: self-criticism, anxiety, regret, fear of the future. We live trapped inside our own minds, as if we were prisoners of thoughts that never leave us in peace. The good news is that there is a way out. The Stoics understood centuries ago something that we have forgotten today. The key to mental peace is not in what happens outside, but in how we train our minds to face it. Today, we will go through 12 Stoic strategies that will help you clear your mind, reduce the noise, and reclaim your inner calm. These are not just simple tips, but practical tools that will allow you to regain control over the only thing that truly matters: your thoughts and mental state. Stay until the end, because each strategy is designed to transform the way you think and free you from everything that intoxicates you. Are you ready to reclaim your mental peace? Before we begin, I want you to declare your commitment by leaving a comment. From today, I free my mind from noise. This phrase will serve as a reminder that you are here to regain clarity, leave behind mental overload, and focus on what truly matters. This is the moment to prove to yourself that your inner peace is non-negotiable and that you have the power to build a strong and free mind. Let's begin. First Stoic strategy: use positive affirmations. The words you tell yourself can save you or destroy you. Words have power. You may not notice it at the moment, but every phrase you repeat in your mind shapes the way you see yourself and how you face life. Think about it. How many times a day do you tell yourself things like, "I'm not enough. I always fail at everything. I will never make it"? Maybe you say it without realizing it, like a habit you've carried for years. And that's the problem. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what you constantly repeat. If every day you tell yourself that you are not good enough, your brain accepts it as fact. If you repeat that you are weak, that things never change, that you have no control over your life, then, without realizing it, you become your own worst enemy. Marcus Aurelius knew this. In Meditations, he made it clear that power over our mind is the only real power we have. Your soul takes the color of your thoughts. The question is, what color are your daily thoughts painting your life? Your mind is like a garden. What you plant grows. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a garden. Every word you tell yourself is a seed. If you constantly repeat words of defeat and self-destruction, you are planting thorns. Every time you doubt yourself, those thorns will grow and cause you more harm. But what if you started planting something different? What if you replaced those seeds with affirmations that reinforce your inner strength? The Stoics practiced daily affirmations as a shield against negativity and the chaos of life. They understood that what you tell yourself not only affects your mind, but also shapes your reality. Epictetus made this clear: it is not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of them. If you train your mind with powerful affirmations, your perception changes, your confidence grows, and your ability to face challenges strengthens. Change the story you tell yourself. Think about the moments when you doubt yourself the most. Right before walking into an important meeting. When facing a challenge and feeling afraid of failure. At night, when negative thoughts invade your mind. These are the moments when you need affirmations the most. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," tell yourself, "I am capable and have control over my mind." Instead of thinking, "I always fail," tell yourself, "Every obstacle makes me stronger." Instead of thinking, "I don't have the energy to keep going," tell yourself, "I have the power to take control of my life." This is not self-deception. It is mental training. Studies confirm this. The repetition of positive affirmations activates regions of the brain associated with confidence and resilience. It's like strengthening a muscle. At first, it's difficult, but over time, it becomes natural. How to apply Stoic affirmations in your life. The Stoics practice daily self-examination, a habit you can adopt today. Each morning before starting your day, look in the mirror and say a positive affirmation out loud. Keep a journal of affirmations and write them down before bed. Rewriting them reinforces their impact on your subconscious. Use them in moments of tension. When facing a challenge, repeat the affirmation you need the most. Start now. Write in the comments one affirmation that you will use starting today to strengthen your mind. Remember, what you repeat in your mind becomes your reality. Start speaking to yourself like the leader you deserve to be. Second Stoic strategy, simplify your life. The chaos in your mind begins with the chaos around you. We live in an era where everything competes for our attention. Unfiltered information, unnecessary commitments, accumulated possessions, and social expectations. It's a constant bombardment that overwhelms the mind and prevents us from seeing clearly. Think about it. How many times have you felt like you don't have space to think? That your day is filled with noise, distractions, and worries that shouldn't even be yours? The Stoics understood that simplicity is not just a way of living. It's a tool for achieving inner peace. Seneca put it clearly, "It is the mind that makes us good or bad, happy or unhappy, rich or poor." In other words, your tranquility doesn't depend on what you have, but on what you choose to carry in your life. Excess steals your peace. Too many things, too many obligations, too much information. Your home is filled with objects you don't need. Your schedule is overloaded with commitments you don't enjoy. Your mind is trapped in worries you can't even control. The result? A constantly stressed mind, with no space to think clearly or enjoy the present moment. The Stoics practiced mental minimalism. It wasn't just about living with fewer things, but about focusing on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius summed it up in one phrase: do less, but do it better. Eliminating excess doesn't mean depriving yourself. It means making space for what truly matters. How to start simplifying your life. Think about this. If you could eliminate 20% of the things that stress you out, you would gain 80% more peace. Start with 3 key areas. 1. Eliminate unnecessary things in your environment. Declutter. Get rid of everything you don't use, don't need, or that doesn't add value to your life. An organized space creates an organized mind. 2. Reduce mental noise. Stop worrying about what you can't control. Ask yourself daily, is this problem within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. 3. Learn to say no. Every commitment you accept unwillingly is an extra burden in your life. Be selective with your time. Surround yourself with what truly adds value. The power of living with less but with purpose. Simplifying your life doesn't mean giving up everything. It means choosing what truly matters. It's living without the pressure to please everyone. It's letting go of things that don't bring you happiness. It's freeing your mind from unnecessary noise. When you remove excess, your mind breathes, your energy focuses, and your life gains clarity. So tell me, What's the first thing you'll eliminate today to make your life simpler and more powerful? Your mental peace is a choice. If today you decide to clear your mind of stress and mental overload, subscribe. This is a refuge for those seeking clarity, balance, and emotional strength. Don't let confusion control you. Without further ado, let's continue. Third Stoic strategy: limit the information you consume. What enters your mind shapes your reality. We live in a world where information never stops. Alarming news, social media designed to steal our attention, and endless messages. A relentless bombardment that overloads our minds and fills us with anxiety. It's happened to you, hasn't it? You wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone. Without realizing it, you've absorbed hundreds of news updates, opinions and problems that aren't even yours. The Stoics understood that the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives. Marcus Aurelius put it precisely: the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. But how can you have clear and calm thoughts if your mind is contaminated with the world's noise? Digital intoxication. Most people consume information without filtering it. They swallow without digesting. They fill themselves with external opinions, manipulated news, and meaningless content that only fuels anxiety. The result? You can't focus on what truly matters. You worry about things beyond your control. Your mind never rests. It's overloaded, scattered, and exhausted. This is not living. This is being a slave to information. How the Stoics filtered information. The Stoics didn't let just any idea enter their minds. They consumed only what served to improve their character, discipline, and inner peace. Epictetus made it clear: if you wish to improve, reject unnecessary opinions and focus on what truly matters. This doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means consciously choosing which information is worth absorbing. How to protect your mind from unnecessary noise. If you want clarity, you need limits. Here are 3 ways to start. 1. Choose quality over quantity. You don't need to know everything. Be selective about the sources of information you consume. Ask yourself, does this add value, or does it fill me with anxiety? 2. Set strict times for news and social media. Don't check your phone first thing in the morning. Avoid flooding your mind with information right before bed. Give yourself moments of mental silence. 3. Do a digital detox. Unfollow accounts that drain you mentally. Mute groups that only complain. Keep only what truly adds value to your life. Master your mind, or the world will master it for you. Every time you consume information without filtering it, you give others power over your mental state. But when you decide what enters your mind, you take back control. Imagine a day where you're no longer tied to external opinions, where you focus only on what truly matters, where your peace of mind isn't dictated by headlines designed to manipulate you. That day can start today. So tell me, what decision will you make to protect your mind from the noise of the world? Fourth Stoic strategy: develop an exercise routine. Move your body, strengthen your mind. Imagine a warrior who never trains his body, a fighter who never sharpens his sword. How long do you think he would survive in battle? Life is a constant war against comfort, laziness, and mental fragility. And if you don't strengthen your body, your mind will also weaken. The Stoics understood this well. They didn't see exercise as just a physical activity, but as an essential practice for self-mastery. Seneca made it clear: keeping both body and mind strong is the duty of a wise man. But today, what do? We spend hours sitting, trapped in a digital world. We complain about being tired, but we avoid movement. We want discipline and clarity, yet we neglect the most basic thing, our own body. The connection between body and mind. If your body is weak, your mind will be weak too. When you exercise, you don't just strengthen your muscles, you train your discipline, your resilience, and your ability to endure discomfort. When you lift a heavy weight, you learn to face discomfort. When you run a distance you've never achieved before, you realize you're capable of more than you thought. When you push past exhaustion, you develop the ability to endure pain without complaining. Exercise is a metaphor for life. Every rep is a lesson in effort. Every workout is a reminder that resilience is built through practice. How the Stoics trained. The Stoics understood that the body and mind are inseparable. That's why they engaged in physical training that challenged their endurance and prepared them for any adversity. Marcus Aurelius, both emperor and warrior, trained his body with the same dedication he used to train his mind. Epictetus encouraged people to expose their bodies to controlled difficulties, like cold or hunger, to strengthen their character. Physical discomfort prepares you for mental discomfort. How to apply Stoic exercise principles in your life. You don't need to be an athlete, but you do need to be a warrior of your own mind. 1. Train every day. It doesn't have to be long. Even 10 minutes of conscious movement is better than nothing. Start small, but be consistent. 2. Choose an exercise that challenges your willpower. It could be weightlifting, running, calisthenics, or any activity that forces you out of your comfort zone. 3. Stop making excuses. You don't have time, but you spend hours on social media. You don't have energy, but you eat food that drains you. You don't have motivation, but you expect results without action. Drop the excuses and do what needs to be done. Discipline begins in the body. Every rep you complete, every mile you run, every effort you endure is a vote in favor of your discipline. If you control your body, you control your mind. If you train physical resilience, you train emotional resilience. Think about this. When was the last time you truly challenged your body? Today can be the day you stop negotiating with your laziness and start building a stronger version of yourself. What decision will you make? 5th Stoic strategy: meditate daily. Silence the noise. Find clarity. Imagine being caught in the middle of a storm. The winds are howling, the rain is relentless, and visibility is near zero. This is what the mind of most people looks like today, a constant chaos of thoughts, worries, and distractions. But the Stoics knew a secret. In the midst of the storm, there is a place of stillness, a refuge that can only be accessed by learning to silence the noise. That refuge is meditation. Marcus Aurelius practiced it every night by writing down his thoughts. Epictetus taught that true freedom is not in controlling the external world, but in mastering the mind. And yet today we live enslaved by our own distractions. We check our phones every few minutes. Our attention jumps from thought to thought without rest. We drown in worries about things that haven't even happened yet. No pause, no clarity, no direction. Meditation in Stoic philosophy. Stoic meditation is not just sitting with your eyes closed in silence. It is a mental discipline to strengthen perception, composure, and self-mastery. Evening reflection. Marcus Aurelius would review his day and analyze how he could improve. Did I act wisely today? Could I have responded better? Preparing for adversity. Epictetus advised visualizing potential challenges to be mentally prepared for them with control and wisdom. Detachment from the uncontrollable. The Stoics meditated on impermanence, accepting that everything changes and suffering comes from clinging to the temporary. How to apply Stoic meditation in your life. If you've never practiced meditation, start with something simple but powerful. 1. Set aside a few minutes each day. You don't need an hour. Start with just 5 minutes in the morning or at night. 2. Focus on your breathing. Feel the air enter and leave your lungs. When your mind drifts, gently bring it back. 3. Reflect on your day. Ask yourself, where did I react impulsively? How could I have acted with more wisdom? 4. Anticipate challenges. Before starting your day, visualize possible obstacles and mentally prepare to respond with calm and control. 5. Remember impermanence. Nothing lasts forever, not pleasure, not pain. Meditate on this truth and free yourself from unnecessary fear and anxiety. An untrained mind is a prison. The outside world may be in chaos, but within you, there must be stillness. The problem is not what happens around you, it is how you interpret it. Stoic meditation is not about escaping the world. It is about facing it with the greatest clarity and strength possible. Marcus Aurelius put it simply, tranquility comes from within. Do not seek it outside yourself. Now ask yourself, will you continue allowing your mind to be a battlefield? Or will you train it to find the unshakable peace the Stoics mastered? The choice is yours. 6th Stoic strategy, set clear boundaries. The art of protecting your mental peace. Imagine your mind as a fortress. If you allow anyone to enter without restrictions, it will soon be filled with chaos, noise, and conflicts that don't belong to you. Without boundaries, you end up exhausted, drained, and without space for what truly matters. The problem is that most people don't know how to say no. They say yes to commitments that overwhelm them. They allow others to invade their time without questioning it. They feel guilty when they try to prioritize themselves, but the Stoics understood that failing to set boundaries is a way of losing control over your own life. Epictetus put it plainly, you cannot control what others do, but you can control what you tolerate. So, the real question is, what are you allowing to steal your peace? Boundaries are not walls, they are filters. Setting boundaries doesn't mean becoming cold or selfish. It means choosing where to invest your time, energy, and attention. The Stoics set boundaries on 3 levels. 1. Boundaries with people. They didn't allow external opinions to define their worth. If someone treated them with contempt, they ignored it. 2. Boundaries with time. They knew life was short and refused to waste it on trivial conversations or pointless worries. 3. Boundaries with thoughts. They didn't let anxiety and fear take control. They only focused on what was within their power to change. How to apply Stoic boundaries in your life. 1. Define what is negotiable and what is not. What kind of treatment are you willing to accept from others? Where do you need to draw the line? 2. Learn to say no without guilt. You don't have to justify every decision. A simple, I can't right now, is enough. 3. Protect your time as you protect your money. Don't give away your hours to people or activities that don't add value to your life. 4. Stop trying to please everyone. No matter what you do, someone will always criticize you. Don't let that dictate your choices. 5. Set mental barriers. When a negative or useless thought enters your mind, pause and question it. Is this useful? If not, let it go. The power of boundaries in action. Setting boundaries doesn't mean rejecting everything, but making sure that what you accept in your life is truly valuable. Imagine a friend or family member constantly unloading their problems on you without considering your time. Instead of absorbing their negativity, you can say, I appreciate you, but I can't discuss this right now. I need to focus on my own responsibilities. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, But over time, you'll notice something incredible. You'll feel lighter, freer, and more in control of your life. Because true mental strength is not just about enduring chaos, it's about knowing what you allow in and what you keep out. The Stoics knew that an overloaded mind is a weak mind. A mind protected by clear boundaries is an invincible mind. Now ask yourself, are you ready to close the door to what drains you and make space for what truly matters? If you've made it this far, it's because you know your mind needs a change. Stop carrying thoughts that only drain you. Subscribe and comment. Today, I choose to let go of what doesn't belong to me. This is your way of affirming your decision to take back control. But pay attention. In the 9th strategy, you will discover a key principle that could completely transform how you manage your mind. Don't miss it. This could be the beginning of your true mental freedom. Let's keep going. 7th Stoic strategy. Surround yourself with positive people. The environment you choose defines your mental strength. Imagine your mind as a garden. What you plant in it determines what you will harvest. If you fill it with negative thoughts, complaints, and criticism, only weeds will grow. But if you nurture it with inspiring ideas, meaningful conversations, and uplifting company, it will flourish with strength and clarity. Now tell me, what kind of garden are you cultivating? We often underestimate how much the people around us affect our mindset. But think about this. If you surround yourself with complaints, problems, and negativity, you will absorb them. No matter how strong you think you are, your environment shapes your thinking. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul is dyed with the color of its thoughts." And your thoughts are influenced by what you hear and who you share your life with. The question is, are you allowing toxic people to shape your worldview? The power of choosing your environment. Look around you. Think about the people you spend the most time with. Do they inspire you to improve, to grow, to become mentally stronger? Or do they fill you with doubt, excuses, and mediocrity? It's not about abandoning everyone or isolating yourself, but about being more conscious of who you allow into your mental space. Ask yourself, does this person push me forward or hold me back? Do they energize me or drain me? Do they inspire me or pull me toward mediocrity? The Stoics believed in mental self-discipline, and part of that is surrounding yourself with people who elevate your spirit. If you spend time with people who constantly complain, your mind will lean toward complaining. If you surround yourself with disciplined, strong-minded individuals with clear values, it will reflect in you. How to start surrounding yourself with positive people. You don't need to make drastic changes overnight, but you should start being intentional about your environment. Here are some ways to do it. 1. Seek conversations with purpose. Find people you can talk to about personal growth, philosophy, discipline, and mental strength. Deep conversations transform your perspective. 2. Filter your social media. If you follow people who only complain or promote negativity, stop consuming that content. Fill your mind with ideas that strengthen you. 3. Surround yourself with role models. You don't need to personally know someone to learn from them. Listen to podcasts, read books, and follow content from people who embody the mindset you want. 4. Be the change you seek. Sometimes it's not about finding better people, but about being better yourself. If you cultivate a strong mindset, you will attract like-minded individuals. Your environment determines your destiny. Think about this. If you surround yourself with 5 disciplined people, you will eventually be the 6th. If you surround yourself with 5 directionless people, you will be the 6th. It's not magic, it's influence. The Stoics knew that man is not an island. We are influenced by what surrounds us, but we also have the power to decide what we allow into our mental space. Today, you can choose to surround yourself with those who add value to your life. So tell me, who will you choose to spend your time with from now on? 8th Stoic strategy: accept impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. That's the key to your strength. Everything you love, everything you fear, everything that worries you today will one day disappear. No matter how much you hold on, life is in constant change. So why do we keep resisting the inevitable? The Stoics taught that one of the greatest sources of human suffering is the resistance to change. We want things to last forever, a relationship, a stage in life, a feeling of happiness. But everything is temporary. The problem is not change, it's our refusal to accept it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Observe how many waves of change have passed over you, and you will understand that things that constantly change should not be feared." Life is like a flowing river. You can't stop it. You can't hold the water in your hands. If you try to cling to it, you will only exhaust yourself. The only option is to flow with it, adapt, and learn to let go. The trap of permanence. Think about the last time you resisted change. A job that no longer fulfilled you, but you refused to leave. A relationship you knew was over, but you held on to out of fear. A moment of happiness you wanted to last forever, only to end up frustrated when it faded. Every time you cling to something that must change, you suffer. But here's the Stoic key: everything passes. The good and the bad, happiness and pain. Strength does not come from avoiding change. It comes from facing it without losing yourself. How to practice the acceptance of impermanence. 1. Remind yourself of the transience of everything. When overwhelmed by a problem, tell yourself, "This too shall pass. No storm lasts forever." 2. Don't cling to pleasure or run from pain. Both are temporary. Enjoy the present without fearing its end, and face difficult moments knowing they won't last forever. 3. Observe change in nature. Nothing in nature is static. The seasons change. The sun rises and sets. The waves come and go. You are part of that same cycle. 4. Make peace with uncertainty. You can't control everything. Life is not a predictable plan, it's a constant flow of experiences. Instead of fearing it, use it to your advantage. The freedom of letting go. When you stop resisting change, you discover something incredible: peace. You no longer stress over what is leaving. You no longer fear what is coming. You learn to live with what is, here and now. The Stoics reminded us that our strength does not come from avoiding change. It comes from facing it with dignity. Nothing lasts forever, but your attitude is always in your control. So tell me, what are you ready to let go of today? 9th Stoic strategy: dedicate time to your hobbies. What you do for love keeps your mind in balance. Routine, obligations, worries. Day after day, we immerse ourselves in an endless cycle of responsibilities. And in that process, we forget something fundamental: the pleasure of doing something simply because we enjoy it, without pressure, without external validation, without worrying about productivity. Epictetus reminded us, "Leisure without books is the death and the tomb of a living man." Though his words emphasize the importance of learning, the message is clear. A spirit without passions is condemned to monotony and dissatisfaction. When you stop doing what you love, you lose a part of yourself. Think about it. When was the last time you did something just because you enjoyed it? Without thinking about efficiency, without feeling guilty. without worrying about how useful it was. Maybe you used to love painting, writing, playing an instrument, taking long walks, but you stopped because it's not important. I don't have time. And in that abandonment, you lost a part of your essence. The Stoics taught that discipline is essential, but so is active rest, the connection with what fills you with life. A hobby is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It keeps your mind in balance. It helps you process emotions. It allows you to release tension and find inspiration. The power of hobbies in the Stoic mind. Why do you think Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal every night? Why did Epictetus dedicate his time to teaching? Because they understood that the mind needs space to expand. Moments where it operates freely, without pressure or obligations. When you immerse yourself in a hobby, you escape mental noise, leaving behind stress and worries. You train your focus and patience, forcing yourself to be present without distractions. You strengthen your identity, reminding yourself who you are beyond work and obligations. How to reclaim the habit of doing what you love. 1. Rediscover what you're passionate about. Think about activities you once enjoyed. What made you feel alive? Make a list. 2. Make space for it in your schedule. Don't wait to have time. Schedule it as if it were an important appointment, because it is. 3. Forget about being the best. You don't need to be an expert to enjoy something. A hobby is for you, not to impress anyone. 4. Start with small moments. You don't need hours. Even 15 minutes a day can make a huge difference in your mental well-being. Life is not just about obligations. The Stoics did not promote a life of suffering and sacrifice. On the contrary, they spoke of living with purpose and balance. And part of that balance is connecting with what nourishes you. So tell me, which hobby will you reclaim starting today? 10th Stoic strategy: learn to say no. Every no you say is a yes to your peace of mind. How many times have you agreed to do something you didn't want to, just to avoid conflict? How often have you put others' needs above your own, sacrificing your well-being? Saying no is one of the most powerful skills you can develop, yet one of the hardest. Society has trained us to please, to give in, to prioritize others' comfort over our own peace. But the Stoics had a different perspective. If you don't decide for yourself, others will decide for you. Seneca put it clearly: it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Learning to say no is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of self-mastery. It means setting boundaries, respecting your time, and protecting your energy, because if you don't do it, no one will do it for you. The cost of saying yes when you want to say no. Every time you accept something you don't truly want to do, you drain yourself mentally, taking on responsibilities that aren't yours. You build resentment, feeling that others take advantage of you. You lose control over your life, letting others dictate your time and energy. Imagine this: your time and energy are like a bank account. Every misplaced yes is an unnecessary withdrawal. If you don't manage these resources wisely, one day you'll realize there's nothing left for yourself. The Stoics and the art of setting boundaries. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, do only what must be done, and do it with firmness, without distractions. In other words, your energy should be focused on what truly matters. If you fill your life with meaningless commitments, you drift away from what's essential. A Stoic does not get carried away by social expectations. He chooses with clarity where to invest his time and effort. How to start saying no without guilt. 1. Remember, You don't owe explanations to everyone. A simple "no, thank you" is enough. You don't need to justify yourself or make excuses. Second, say it with firmness and respect. You don't need to be harsh, just clear. Saying, "I'd love to help, but I can't right now," is more than enough. 3. Define your priorities before others do it for you. If you know what truly matters, it becomes easier to reject what doesn't. 4. Practice small rejections. Start with simple things. You don't have to accept every invitation, favor, or request. The power of taking control. When you start saying no to what doesn't serve you, you create space for what truly matters. You gain time, energy, clarity. Because at the end of the day, every no you say is a yes to something more important. Your peace, your purpose, your life. So tell me, what will you start saying no to today? If this knowledge helps you clear your mind and regain your peace, subscribe and be part of this space where clarity and balance are the priority. 11th Stoic strategy: cultivate patience. Impatience is the trap of the weak. Patience is the weapon of the wise. We live in an era where everything moves fast. We want instant answers, immediate results, and instant gratification. And when things don't happen at the pace we expect, frustration takes over. But impatience is a form of weakness. A Stoic understands that time has its own course and that trying to rush the inevitable only brings suffering. Marcus Aurelius put it clearly: "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, since life must be lived fighting and on guard against sudden blows." These blows of life can be delays, unexpected problems, obstacles that appear without warning. But what defines a strong mind is not the absence of difficulties, but the ability to face them without despair. The trap of impatience. Think about the last time you lost your patience. Did you get frustrated in traffic and end up more stressed than necessary? Did you rush into a decision only to realize later it wasn't the best one? Did you expect immediate results in a project and, when they didn't come, lost motivation? Each of these situations is a reflection of impatience and how it steals our peace. A Stoic, however, learns to accept time as it is and to act with serenity. Patience as mental training. Patience is not passivity. It doesn't mean resignation or doing nothing. It is the ability to act calmly even when things don't go your way. The Stoics understood that life is full of challenges, and the key is not to avoid them, but to face them with a stable mind. Epictetus said, "Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do." In other words, life will not adjust to your expectations, but you can adjust your attitude toward it. How to train patience in daily life. 1. Observe your reaction to waiting. Every time you feel impatient, instead of reacting with anger or anxiety, observe your response and ask yourself, is it really worth stressing over this? 2. Practice the pause before acting. Next time you face a difficult situation, take a deep breath and wait a moment before reacting. Many times, a moment of calm prevents an impulsive mistake. 3. Accept that progress takes time. Everything truly valuable requires patience. Learning, improving, building something meaningful doesn't happen overnight. 4. Turn waiting into an opportunity. Instead of seeing waiting time as something negative, use it to reflect, learn, or simply enjoy the present moment. The power of Stoic patience. Patience makes you stronger. It gives you control over your mind, your emotions, and your life. Because whoever masters patience masters time. So, tell me, in what area of your life do you need more patience? 12th Stoic strategy: find time for nature. Mental balance begins where the noise of the world ends. We are surrounded by screens, notifications, noise, and a constant flow of information. Our mind is overloaded, trapped in a cage of distractions that prevents us from thinking clearly. But the Stoics knew this well. Contact with nature is not just an escape from chaos, but a source of calm, perspective, and mental clarity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look at nature as a whole, and you will see that everything is change. Nothing remains except the harmony of the universe." When we step away from noise and immerse ourselves in the vastness of nature, something changes in our mind. Why nature is essential for mental clarity. Think about the last time you were in a peaceful place, a forest, a mountain, the sea, or even a park. Did you notice how the noise in your mind faded? How your anxiety decreased and your breathing deepened? How your problems seemed smaller when viewed from the vastness of the natural world? This is not a coincidence. The natural environment calms our nervous system, reduces stress, and helps us regain the perspective that we often lose in daily life. The Stoics understood that life was not meant to be lived in a constant state of distraction and anxiety. Balance is only found in simplicity and connection with something greater than ourselves. The trap of modern isolation. Today, most people spend almost all their time indoors. They wake up and check their phone before seeing the sunlight. They spend the day in closed offices with no exposure to nature. They immerse themselves in screens until nighttime, never realizing that the real world is still out there. This creates a vicious cycle of anxiety, mental fatigue, and disconnection from reality. If you want to detox your mind, you need to break this cycle. How to integrate nature into your daily life. You don't need to take a trip to the mountains to benefit from the power of nature. Small changes can transform your mental state. 1. Take a daily walk outdoors. Walk through a park, a trail, or any place where you can breathe fresh air without distractions. 2. Observe the sky. Spend a few moments watching the sunrise, the sunset, or simply the movement of the clouds. 3. Listen to natural sounds. The song of birds, the rustling of the wind, or the flow of water can instantly calm your mind. 4. Use nature as a mental refuge. Whenever you feel mentally overwhelmed, find a green space, disconnect from everything, and just breathe. The Stoic power of nature. The Stoics understood that we are part of something greater. Nature reminds us that everything flows, everything changes, and that life moves forward regardless of our worries. If you want to regain control of your mind, stop living trapped in an artificial world. Go outside, breathe, observe, and remember, nature has always been the best remedy for the mind. So tell me, when was the last time you truly spent time in nature? A final reflection. The battle inside your mind. We live in an era where noise doesn't just come from outside, it also comes from within. Our mind is a battlefield where every thought fights for attention, where information overload paralyzes us, and where peace feels like an unattainable luxury. We have become accustomed to living with chaos, saturation, and the invisible weight of thoughts that hold us back. But what if all this noise is just an illusion? What if the real problem was never the external world, but our inability to filter what truly matters? The Stoics knew that the mind is our greatest asset, and at the same time our worst enemy if we fail to control it. And this is where the real challenge lies. We live without filters, without direction, consuming everything, reacting to everything, without realizing that true clarity doesn't come from accumulating more, but from learning to let go, the price of a contaminated mind. Stress is not normal. You've been led to believe that living anxious, overwhelmed, and mentally exhausted is just part of life. It's not. Constant distraction is stealing your life. Every time you fall into the trap of unnecessary information, you lose minutes, hours, days that you will never get back. If you don't set limits, someone else will decide for you. And in a world that thrives on your attention, that means you'll be trapped in an endless spiral of noise and confusion. The decision is yours. The world is not going to change. Social media will not become quieter. The news will not become more reassuring. Life will not slow down to give you a break. If you want mental clarity, inner peace, and a real purpose, you have to build it yourself. The Stoics didn't wait for the world to be easier. They learned to be stronger. They didn't wait for life to slow down. They learned to focus on the essential. If you truly want to free yourself from the noise, mental chaos, and the constant sense of exhaustion, you must start now. Not tomorrow. Not when you have time. Not when everything is in order. Because if you keep waiting, life will keep passing you by, and you'll remain trapped in a mind that doesn't belong to you. The question is not whether you can do it. The question is, are you willing to take back control? I'm excited to hear your stories of overcoming this challenge. Share your victories, struggles, and experiences in the comments. If you don't know what to comment, write, "I detox my mind to hear my true voice." This will show that you've completed today's session. And don't forget to subscribe if this content resonates with you and with your values for living with Stoic wisdom. Your voice is essential here. Every reflection strengthens and elevates our community, reflecting the true value of each individual and contributing to our shared Stoic identity. Joining this Stoic community means breaking the chains that limit you and building an inner fortress that no one can tear down. Is there a topic you'd like to explore further? Leave it in the comments. Additionally, we've prepared a space in the pinned comment where you'll find more about us and resources to help you integrate Stoic principles into your daily life. This is your call to take the next step toward a meaningful life. We'll meet again in Stoicism for Winners, where we'll continue exploring the riches of Stoic wisdom applied to modern life. Now, take this opportunity to expand your understanding of Stoicism with new recommended sessions. Until we meet again, remember, you are the only master of your perception, the creator of your peace, and the warrior of your own battle. This is the legacy of Stoicism, the art of becoming invincible.